Counting down my fantasy playlist the week of July 4th, 1987, getting started on it, did Debbie Harry at number 45. Boy George debuting at number 44. It's the second of 10 debuts on my fantasy playlist. I added about 15 songs to my fantasy playlist that week, including one by Twisted Sister, Hot Love. I've forgotten all about that one. That's what I like about counting down these fantasy playlists, is because I come across these songs I haven't heard in years. Boy George with Everything I Own. The Bread classic from the spring of 1972. David Gates wrote that song about his dad. That was why that song was so powerful. I thought it was a love song, but it was a love song, but it was not a conventional love song per se. David Gates was at his dad's funeral, and somebody came up to David Gates at his dad's funeral, pulled him aside, told David Gates, "You know, your dad would have been really proud of what you've done." And David Gates replied, of course, he's pretty sad. His dad passed away. "My success would have been so special for my dad. My dad was the greatest influence on my life." He went home and wrote Everything I Own. He delivered this song in such a heartfelt fashion that it's really hard to beat the original version of the Bread record. Boy George gives it his best shot. The guy's got a soulful voice, but it's still not the Bread version. It's not a strike against Boy George. It's just, it was such a personal song for David Gates. When it's that personal, it's going to add the vocal power when you sing the lyrics to the song. Anyway, Boy George, Everything I Own at number 44 on my fantasy playlist. I think that's all I got to say about this record. His first solo hit. Boy George's first solo hit. Seems like the last record I remember by Boy George, and the Culture Club, lead singer of the Culture Club, summer of '86, was Move Away, Lost 45 by the Culture Club. Even more of a Lost 45 at number 44 on my fantasy playlist, Boy George with Everything I Own.